Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. Here to talk about the news once again about Eric Garcia and what's going on with him. I did a video about that today. If you would like to, you can go and watch that video. You'll get a lot more information, and we'll discuss some of it here. Also, we're going to talk about Riyad Mahrez, what's been going down with Riyad, what's he been saying? Has he embarrassed himself? Has he let the cat out of the bag? We'll talk about it, even though I haven't gone into too much detail in terms of research. I haven't looked at, for instance, I haven't looked to see whether he's actually said what he's supposed to say. I think he said something to Canal Plus, which is the, if I'm right, that's who he spoke to. In France. So we'll talk about that, and just to see what he's alleged to have said. And then we might talk a little bit about Pep. People are unhappy with Pep. So we'll talk about that. Some people calling for his sacking. But as long as he doesn't sign a new contract, there's going to be issues. People talking about maybe we would just have been very fortunate in the last few years to have people like Yaya Toure, to have people like Sergio Aguero, full fitness, to have people like when we had him, Zabe, Fernandinho, Vincent Kompany, to have these people. Maybe we don't realize how lucky we were. People like David Silva. We don't realize, and that's an issue. We're just greedy. Anyway, let's see what you guys are saying. Quest, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. I'm very well. Chris, how you doing, mate? Hi, Abdullah. I'm all right, guys. Can't you tell? West Ham man's back. Man United should smash Sheffield United. Well, we need to do some. We have to beat Sheffield United. We have to. Cobby, we wasted 60 million on Mahrez when we had to concentrate on tying down Sane, our best winger. I don't think we could tie him down, Cobby. Okay, I don't think we could tie him down at all. Wasted on Mahrez, that's my feeling right now. I'm not happy with what we spent on Mahrez, but we could not tie Leroy Sane down. Now, this is where we get to Pep. Is that Pep's fault? Is it the way he was treated? Pep kept saying Leroy knows what he needs to do to start games, which meant Leroy wasn't doing it. So Pep was not building any bridges there. Don't want to see Garcia or Mahrez near the team on Tuesday, Mark. You might be in for a shock, Mark. Hi, Kalispira, Alexandros. Abdullah, I think it's Liverpool's title. They're managing just all right without Virgil. Yeah, look, Alisson's back. Who's out for them now? Mane was playing, Salah's playing. It's first team again. First team, the only difference is there's no Virgil van Dijk. And they're winning. Hi, sorry, hope you're well. Cobby, we are not greedy. We just have planned poorly. I agree with that, Cobby. I'm just putting the stuff out there. Good to see you fine, Chris. Los Jugadores del City Casi. Khaled. Khaled, you don't have to write in English. Guys, don't. You'll... Khaled, you will be putting time out for that. You get 5 minutes time out for that, Khaled, because... I'm sorry, mate. If you don't write in English, I have to quickly guess whether what you said was decent enough. And for me, reading Mahrez and racists, I might jump to a conclusion. That conclusion is that you need to be time out. Bro, it's Momo. You're back. I know Mahrez. He said it was fake, but I'll talk about what he said and why he said it and blah blah blah. You wouldn't get it. You're still knocking about. You're still happy. Did we ever replace Yaya Toure, Abdallah? No, we didn't. But did we need to? Did we really need to? We were formidables. We were centurions without Yaya, really. And to be honest, Fernandinho did the business. Fernandinho and Gundogan did the business at the DM role. What the updates split today? We'll get to that. Liverpool beat us on away, said Abdallah. Well, I can't see us doing much unless we pull our collective finger out, guys. I can't see us doing anything against Liverpool this season the way we're going. And the problem is, and here's the problem, people keep saying, oh, we'll get better. We'll get better. We'll get better. Okay? And even I said it, when our players get fit, Yeah, give us some likes, guys. When our players get fit, when we've got, when they come back from injury, when we get everybody together. But here's the thing. You've got to still keep doing it. You can't just use that as an excuse. Oh, tomorrow we'll do it. Tomorrow. Yeah, guys, I was supposed to go cycling today. And you know what I said? Tomorrow I'll do it. I'll start tomorrow. No, you can't start tomorrow. You can't put it off. You can't do that. Okay? You've got to start today. Okay, I didn't go cycling today because I didn't feel good. But you can't put stuff off. You can't use that. It's an easy excuse. It's an easy excuse to say, we haven't got all our team. We haven't got this. We haven't got... It's an easy excuse. When you turn around and say, well, this player's tired, that player's tired. So what? Make do with what you got. You got this kid Ferran Torres dying to play. You got Phil Foden. They're not tired. They're not injured. They are desperate to play. You got John Stones, desperate to play. Yeah, we've got players desperate to play. They're not getting any game time. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy that anymore. Okay, and we knew we had problems, and we just let it ride. The Aguero issue, we let that ride. We haven't got a proper replacement. We let it ride. We've not given Liam Delap a few games. He could have had a few minutes here, a few minutes there. Cole Palmer as well. Cole Palmer's just there. What for? For sure. Liam Delap is on the bench. Well, he's not even on the bench yesterday. What's he there for? For sure. To say, oh, we tick a box. We put some kids on the bench. What's the point if you're not going to play them? Are they just for experience of being on the bench? It's not good enough. Mark Armstrong, I actually think Pep has possibly plateaued at City. I think he has. And we maybe do a change for everyone next summer. We need a goal scorer in the team, says Bro. It's Momo. Prithvi, according to me, we will do better against bigger teams like Liverpool than weaker teams who play 5-4-1. Look, thing is, Prithvi, look at every league game. Wolves, they had 3 very decent chances to score, okay, before they did. 3 very decent chances. If they were clinical, they'd have beaten us. No question about that. Forget about how clinical or not we were. Wolves would have beaten us if they were clinical in that second half. Leeds, we were really on the back foot that second half. Yeah. Arsenal, Saka, he had a couple of good chances. And what's his face? Pepe had a good header, which he put wide. And they had another chance that can't remember who had it, but they had at least 3 or 4 decent chances, Arsenal did. Okay? Leicester spanked us off the park. West Ham, okay, they didn't deserve a win. They didn't have lots of other chances. But, you look at those other games, okay, Porto beat us. Oh, sorry, got ahead, through our lackadaisical play at the back. And they could have had another goal or 2 in that game. They had other opportunities. Do you think a Liverpool, with people like Salah and Mane and Firmino, are going to give up those chances? You give Liverpool those 3 chances that Wolves had, they're scoring 2 of them. You give them the chances that who else had? Arsenal had those 3 chances, they're scoring 2 of them. And we're out. We're beat. So yes, we might do better against those teams, but you give those better teams those opportunities to score against us, they'll put them away. So I'm not buying that, Prithvi. Absolutely. You wouldn't get it. We've been saying we said it last season. Oh, yeah, look, it's difficult times and all that. You could see it happening. I said it in the formidable season. I said I can see what's going on and it's not good enough. We are not clinical enough. And now that lack of clinical finishing is biting us in the backside and it's biting us big time. Abdallah says we need a striker. FFP was relaxed. It's not relaxed. It's over 2 seasons. We have a lot of money. We don't have as much money as we had before, Abdallah. There are excuses, okay? You've got to listen to what I say. FFP is relaxed in as much that it's over 2 years instead of 1. That's the first point, okay? We don't have as much money as we used to because we're trying to be self-sustaining. City are £100 million out of pocket because of COVID, especially if there's no fans at grounds this season. We'll be £100 million out of pocket. That's hurting us. So there are excuses. Having said that, we should have tried to get a striker or given Liam Delap a few more minutes. Give him the opportunity. Now we're sat there. We're sat there naked. Okay? How long is Gabriel Jesus out for? Anybody tell me? I'll leave that one up there and I'll tell you what he said on Twitch. about how long he's going to be out for. Hi, Faris. Hope you're well. Prithvi, I get it, Ray. Pepe's weak to counter-attack. Bigger clubs don't play that way. Hi, Ray. Hi, Jason. If City had the game in hand now and win it, we'd be fourth. It's not good enough, is it? It's not good enough. Let's be honest. We played West Ham away, a team we spanked. We spanked West Ham big time, and we drew. Leeds, okay, Leeds are up there at the moment, but should have done better. Leicester, okay, they're up there at the moment. We got panned by Leicester, okay? So it's not looking fantastic. We should be on more points than we are now. We should be. No question about it, okay? Whilst Liverpool are getting spanked, United are getting spanked and drawing and whatever, we should take advantage. What we've not done is take advantage of the opportunities. Seriously, guys. You know, if Fernandinho scores that header against Leicester, I reckon we win that game. With 3 points better off. 3 points better off. Okay. Against Leeds, I think we should have won, but we didn't deserve to. So, you know, we could be 3 or 4 points better off, 5 points better off, whatever. It ain't good enough, guys. Delap could be our own Haaland. No chance, Quest. Okay. Pep would rather play midfielder up top. Absolutely right. Bro, he's not out for 6. Yep, he is. He's out for 5 to 6 weeks, bro, Momo. Haaland in January, not happening, Ruth. 2 to 3, no, Abdallah. Apparently, Gabriel Jesus. So I was reading in my best Portuguese from the Brazilian channel. They said that on his Twitch, he said he's now started training again, but it'll take him 5 to 6 weeks before he's ready. You're looking at least another month. At least another month, 5 to 6 weeks. What are we going to do for 5 to 6 weeks? Are we going to keep playing a false nine? Yes, it's going to be better if we play people like Ferran Torres, people like Bernardo Silva, people like Phil Foden, and people like Raheem Sterling as part of that false nine. But it's not the right way to go. No, Faris, no news. Aguero, he's going to be out for a while. I can't remember what I heard about that, but we'll learn more tomorrow. I mean, there's a press conference for the Marseille game tomorrow as well, I think, if I'm right. So Aguero's going to be out for a while. Faris, who would you replace against Marseille? Mahrez shouldn't even be on the plane. Okay? I'm being harsh. Kick him out of the plane. I wouldn't have Garcia, but I know, for me, I don't see Laporte being fit. If he's not on the bench, I don't really see him being fit. Ake, not on the bench. So is he going to be fit? I've got a fear that we're going to go with the same three at the back. And that's not a fear, but that's my expectation, because if Ake and Laporte couldn't make the bench on Saturday, how can they start the game on Tuesday? Maybe they make the bench on Tuesday, but I can't see them starting. Honestly, can you see them starting if they can't make the bench? Can't see it. Faris, I would like to see Stones over Ake or over Garcia if he's fit, and Torres. Yep. Torres over Mahrez. I agree with that. Let's keep up with you guys. Hi, Blue Chan. Not seen you for a while. Hi, Harj. A lot of people on tonight. If we win, yeah, but Faris, it's ifs. Okay? We should be, right now, we should be 2 points off top, Faris. We should be using that game in hand to be top. Yeah? We're clutching it at this at the moment. We should be higher than we are, okay? And for whatever reason, and I'm blaming Pep in some of that, I'm blaming the players in some of that, we're not. Haaland in January ain't happening. Move on. It was a mistake. It turns out it's 1-2. All right, maybe, Faris. I'll have to check the Brazilian thing I saw. The Brazilian guy said 5 to 6 weeks. But still, yeah, that's why I said I hadn't checked it. But still, he's out for a while. He's still out. I said he'd be out for at least a couple more weeks. You know, the way they've been talking. Okay, I take it back then, guys. It was a mistake. But it was one of my headlines, okay, for tonight. Why can't Pep see that Rodri is not cut out for this league? He's too slow and adversely impacting our play. Absolutely, Quest. I don't know why. Okay, the problem is what country is Rodri from? What country is Eric Garcia from? I rest my case. Probably one of the reasons I was so excited at Pep was because he gave young players he doesn't. Since he's been here, though, he's the exception of Foden. He's lost Sancho and many other young players. Sane, he's gone. Sancho, he's gone. Rabi Matondo, it wasn't good enough, but he's gone. Okay, Jayden Braff, he'll be going. There's no way Jayden Braff's going to get a look in. I can't see it. You know, you get Liam Delap up there to the front first team. He scores a goal for you. He has a few minutes in another game. He hits the bar against Leeds. And now he's not even on the bench. He's back with the under-23s. And he scored a peach of a goal from outside the box yesterday. Peach of a goal. Okay. Arsenal had their keeper sent off. And they had no keepers on the bench. I think the centre-half went in nets. But still, he put the ball in the top bins. Top bins from Liam Delap. And what is it? He's playing in the under-23s. Cole Palmer's on the bench. These guys are not getting a look in. They're not getting a look in. So that's on Pep, Cobby. You're right. That's on Pep. How long is Ake out for? Haj, I honestly expected him back this weekend. Honestly did. So I don't know. That's the truth. I don't know. Now, as I said, if he's not even on the bench on Saturday, is he going to be starting on Tuesday? I don't see it. Abdallah, we need to sack the medical staff. It might not be the medical staff. The medical staff might be doing wonders. We might be running these guys into the ground. Yeah, we might be running them into the ground. And that's why the injuries are coming up far too often. We started this season with 4 guys out. And we've had 8 injuries. We've had more injuries since the season started than we've had games. Or same number. We've had 5 league games, 2 cup games, and we've had 8 games, 8 injuries. It's not good enough. Aguero injured, 3rd game back, and he didn't show much. People had a go at me yesterday, but he's not showed much in those 3 games. 3 games back, he's out. Who knows how long? Okay? You saw in the first half, he wasn't busting a gut. There was something wrong in that first half. I thought there's something wrong with Aguero because he's not busting a gut trying to score. Yeah, he's not putting the effort in. I was complaining that he wasn't putting the effort in, but the reason is maybe he was injured. I'm afraid we have lost the fear we instilled in the opposition teams before. Absolutely. Sorry, I missed that. Abdikani Mohammed. The thing is, we've lost as heart in that Centurion season. Okay, we got 100 points out of 114. We lost 14 points in a whole season. 14. This season, we've already lost 7 in 5 games. Roddy was a needless earning, in my opinion, says Aaron. I agree, Aaron. I want you on the channel, Aaron, for what you were saying today. Absolutely spot on. Even if Gab returns, is that a goal threat? I don't think so, Abdikani Mohammed. I actually think it's more like he's going to be hard worker. Walker, Rodri, Mahrez are literally playing every game. They need a rest. Well, Mahrez needs a long rest. Mahrez has done nothing. He's done nothing. And you saw again what I complain about Mahrez. Greedy, greedy, greedy. Okay? He got that crossing from KDB yesterday. He should have been hitting that first time across the goal for Raheem Sterling tap in. What does he do? He tries to control it because he wants to score. He wants to score. There was another one later on where he got the ball. He went to the byline. He didn't even think about crossing it. He took the man on the byline and he took it out of play. That's crap. That's selfish. Okay, he should have been looking. He should have been looking to pass it off for someone else to tap it in. What does he do? He tries some skill on the byline, touchline. He takes it out and it's gone. Yeah, he takes it off the blooming pitch. So, yes, I'm unhappy. Yes, I'm angry because every game I say, Mahrez is too greedy. Mahrez is too greedy. Mahrez is too greedy. I always say the same thing. If you're greedy and it works, it comes off. You take a shot from 30 yards and it goes in, we let you off. But if you're greedy, you don't make that pass, you're trying to take somebody on it and it fails, then I'm going to have a pop at you. Absolutely, I'm going to have a pop at you. Mahrez has done very little this season. Very little. And I looked at the numbers from 3 years ago. Okay, I put a tweet out 3 years ago. KDB got 16 assists. Sane got 15. David Silva and Raheem Sterling, I think they got 11 each. Or 11 or 10. I think we had the top 4. I think we had 2 with 11, 1 with 15, 1 with 16. Mahrez had 10 assists that season. Okay? Yeah, I think he played more games than the others. 10 assists. Leroy Sané started 33 games. The other thing to remember is Sterling got 18 goals that season. So he had 29 goals and assists. Miles more than Mahrez. Miles more. Okay, you can argue City create more, score more and all that. Yes, I agree. Mahrez would not got a sniff in that Centurion side. He would not even been on the bench in that Centurion side. So, we've got somebody, don't get me wrong, at the time I wanted him. I wanted a top player from another team. I wanted him. But he's deceived us. Okay? He's deceived us because 10 or 11 goals a season, 10 or 11 assists a season, that's not good enough. Mahrez is 29, 30 years old. He should be pumping in 30 goals and assists every single season. And that makes a difference. Phil, Tenry, looking to get top 4. I think you might be right. Well, I think we'll get top 4. But the longer this malaise, this malignancy goes on, the harder it's going to be for us to get top 4. We need to question the medical staff. I don't know, Abdallah. Is it the medical? Look, Pep fired the German Bayern Munich medical staff. He blamed them. So who are you going to blame this time? The City medical staff, City's backroom staff, our infrastructure. It's the best in world sport, not just football, world sport. City spent so much money, so much time, so much effort to get this right. Okay? So I don't want to hear that there's something wrong behind the scenes, because there should be now wrong behind the scenes. Pepper's got everything he could ask for. He's even got some of the best players in the world. He's got everything he can ask for. You can't go around blaming misfortune. You can't go around blaming the backroom staff. You can't go around blaming the coaches. You can't go around blaming the medical staff. You can't go around blaming the lack of. You can use it as a bit of an excuse, but it only goes so far. The lack of preseason and everything else. Because I'll say it again, if you're going to play Aguero 3 games in 6 days after he's been out for 4 months, guys, you might get an injured player. But Pep did it. He did it 3 times on the banks. 3 games in 6 days. We played on Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. You played Aguero. He's been out for 4 months, 3 times in 6 or 7 days. Too much. Far too much. Okay? Liam Delap, young kid, kick him out. Cole Palmer, don't play him. You played Aguero too much. Pep complained. Here's the thing. Pep complained about KDB. He said the guy's had no rest in the summer. He's had no preseason. He's got a new baby. And then you're playing games bang, bang, bang. You're going to get injured. That's what he said about KDB. Then why did you play him against Burnley in the Carabao Cup? Why didn't you play one of the kids? Why? Don't complain about not being able to give players rest. Don't complain about this, that, and the other, and then chuck them in again and again and again. Don't do it. It sounds hypocritically stupid. It sounds more than foolhardy. It's ludicrous to blame all this, that, and the other when you're contributing to it. KDB shouldn't have played against Burnley. That's that. Okay? You've got players. You've got enough players. Stop crying. Stones, you don't like him? Then don't complain you haven't got Laporte or Aki or whatever. You're not playing Stones for whatever reason. That's your choice. It's on you, Pep. Yeah, Aaron says Rodri was a needless signing. He's not added to us. Prithvi, I'm fine with Pep leaving next one. Need some change. I wanted Benassa and Awar for a reason, Haj. Well, they would have made a huge difference to our side. Huge difference. Benassa would have given us that defensive solidity that Fernandinho used to give us, and he can do box to box. He can play anywhere. He can play anywhere in a supporting role. I would have loved it. And Awar would have been creative. We lack that creativity. We lack getting between the lines. We lack that David Silva player. We'd have spent under £100 million. Here's the thing. We could have spent £100 million on those 2 players, not got, let's say, Nathan Ake, got Diaz. Okay? We could have got by without Ferran Torres. And you might not like me for saying this, we could have got by without Ferran Torres. If we only had so much money or so many spaces, we've got Benassa and Awar. That has solidified our midfield. It made us harder to beat, harder to score against, and it would be more creative. And then, excuse me, maybe we would have had to go with, Mahrez and Sterling And maybe that's an issue. Ferran Torres can play the side. That helps us. But, I'd have gone with that because I'd have said put a couple of kids in, use the kids. Pep didn't want to go down that route. You end up getting Ferran Torres. Now, I think he's going to be a very, very good player. I hope he is. But Ismail Bennacer, Husmawa walk into our first team. Ferran Torres doesn't. Nathan Aki doesn't. So I honestly think we could have got Ruben Diaz. We'd have, keep Stones, Garcia. We'll get through this season before we get another centre-back next season. Okay, we could have got just one centre-back and two midfielders instead of two centre-backs and one winger. And I think that would have been a much more solid team, and it would have been a much more better balanced team as well. Pep thought Rodri would be Fernandinho's solution. No chance. They're different kind of players. Sorry, guys, I'm 10 minutes behind. I've been gassing that much. We'll be having KDB and Laporte back, right? Well, KDB's back, Faris. Laporte, who was on the bench, so I think for Marseille, KDB and Laporte could well start. We're a teammate of Glasses there, and exactly how Pep's tactics are so predictable, and it simply doesn't work. I missed that from Divergent thinking. What you talking about players never about tactics, team spirit? No, I talk about tactics and team spirit. Divergent thinking. I said it last season. I said I'm not happy with the way we're playing because it ain't working. If it ain't working, you got to change it. It's the argument from me is it's not working. It's broken. Fix it. Do something different. I think it was 7 at the start of the season. No, we had 4 injuries, 3 COVID. COVID, I'm not saying you can't do anything about COVID. Okay, 4 injuries, 3 COVID, Faris. I don't see why we give Stones another chance. Not like there's been 2 standout centre-backs in our last few games. Absolutely, Jacob. It is absolutely bonkers. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please think about subscribing. Do more than think about subscribing. Just subscribe to the channel. It costs you now. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as a new video come out. Give us a thumbs up, guys. Let's get those thumbs up moving. Your quality just turned blurry. Oh, let's have a look at that. Is that any better? Well, Adam, sometimes it might be the... I just cleaned the camera. I will get myself a new camera, I think. Stones played well this season when he's played it, which was against Wolves. Hard, can't argue with that. These young, bright players will never get a look under Pep. Who would you let go, these young players or Pep? The board will let the young players go before they let Pep go. Copy, how did we think we were going to get away with having 2 strikers across all competitions this season? I said it wasn't right. Liverpool and Bayern only have 1 striker. But Faris, they have a lot more attacking-wise. They have a lot more. Yeah? Bayern have got Leroy Sané on one side. They've got lots of attacking threat and intent up front. I can't even remember all the players, but they've got plenty up front. Yeah, that support really well. Mahrez is not... Let's say, who would you rather have, Sané or Mahrez? Kingsley Coman or Mahrez? Who would you rather have? So, yeah, Sterling 1 assist last season. Not good enough. 1 assist in the whole blooming season. The guy probably started 33 games. 1 assist in the whole season. Absolutely, Blue Chand. Sterling should be putting away his chances. Same with Madrid. Pepe. Look, teams might have 1 striker, but they're still scoring tons. We score tons of goals, but not when it matters. When it mattered against Lyon, we didn't score that goal. When it mattered against Chelsea, was it Gabriel Jesus missed Sterling hit it straight at the keeper. When it mattered against Chelsea at 1-1, okay, in the league, Sterling missed. When it mattered against Lyon, Gabriel Jesus missed. When it mattered against Lyon, Raheem Sterling missed. When it mattered against West Ham, Raheem Sterling missed 2. So when it matters, people are not doing what they should be doing. Ismail Bennacer, man. Ismail Bennacer. He would have made a huge difference, in my opinion. Pep's obsession with Gundogan means we don't even bother getting a box-to-box for hard-working midfielder. Mahrez needs to leave, so you wouldn't get it. Aguero's injury-prone, and Gabby J is not the best in terms of strikers, but decent. Yeah, Haj, he's a good number 2. He's a good working in a pair, or he's good working with a false 9. Sterling's the worst forward in the 1v1 with the keeper. I thought Gundogan did well. I thought Gundogan did all right. People complain out and say he wasn't creative. He created 2 wonderful chances. He did a pass to Ruben Diaz, who couldn't control it, didn't know what to do. He did another great pass to Cancelo, who should have crossed it first time to Sterling, and Sterling was there for a tap in. You watch it. Sterling's there to tap it in, and Cancelo didn't control the ball. There you go. 16 likes, 27 dislikes. Come on, guys, hit me up with some likes. It's ridiculous. And then, because I won't tell you the real big reason that the dislikes are a problem. They are an issue, okay? Because I know they're an issue. They screw up the stats. They screw up everything. And then YouTube will come on and shift them. YouTube will delete them in a few hours, but they know what they're doing. They know what's going down. I'll do some digging around it. Man City needs to get players which are guaranteed to solve the problems they are a team like Liverpool when you can go from zero to hero. Thing is, we're getting players who are not first-team players. Mahrez wasn't a first-team player for me. Rodri, not a first-team player. Angelino, not a first-team player. Yeah? So there's 3 not first-team players. Ake, we bought Ake not as a first-team player, as cover for Laporte. So who have we bought? Ferran Torres, not a first-team player. Who are we buying as first-team players? Ruben Dias, that's it. That's it in the last 3 seasons. Tell me anybody else we bought in the last 3 seasons that's been a first-team automatic player, automatic starter, not a squad member. First-team player. Faris, I expected much more from Mahrez. It feels like he'll only give us 60%. He doesn't put the effort in for me. He doesn't chase hard enough. He puts that... See, when I played football, you knew when you did it yourself, when you weren't putting the effort in, where you did a pretend tackle or a pretend chase back. And that's what Mahrez does far too often. Haj, I don't mind Gundogan, but when he plays with Rodri, there's no creativity. But Haj, I've just told you, Gundogan did that pass to Diaz, who fluffed it. He did that pass to Cancelo, who fluffed it. If Cancelo puts the ball across to Sterling, Sterling scores, we win the game. And we're all talking about the wonderful pass from Ilkay Gundogan. No one's talked about the wonderful pass from Gundogan to Diaz. No one's talked about the wonderful pass from Gundogan to Cancelo. Nobody said anything about them because the outcome wasn't a goal, it was a miscontrol. Pep has spent $500 million to play like Burnley. Divergent, I think with Sterling you can win anything. With Sterling, you can win everything or you can lose everything. That's the problem. I think a championship team backroom staff would do better, says Haj. Something's still up with Pep. Won't sign a contract. He's obsessed with Garcia, who wants to leave. GRX, we're hearing that City want him to stay. City think that they can turn his mind. And then we're hearing in the papers that Garcia told his friends that, no, they can't change his mind. He's going to go. Whatever happens, he's off. Yeah? So, if he's determined to leave, he shouldn't be playing. Shouldn't be playing. If he's not going to sign a contract, shouldn't be playing. Simple as that. So much hatred appeared today. Happy to hear that. It's not hatred at Divergence Thinking. It's honest speaking. Pochettino is a better manager than Pep. Pep has been given so much throughout his career. And Man City is the only crisis he has had in his life, says Adam. I'm still way behind. Still 10 minutes behind. I don't think it's his on his contract after his current one. I think he's leaving. Even without VVD, Lupa find a way to win. We can't contend for the title like this. JRX, I'll be surprised if we get top 4. Short-term first team impact signings. Benassi isn't a DM. I watched him myself and he's the number 6 at his peak. Okay, I spoke to a journalist in Italy who's a Milan fan. No, he's not in Italy. He's an Italian journalist who lives in Sweden now, but he's a Milan fan. Okay. And I've spoken to other people who watch Italian football, analysts, and they tell me Benassi can play as a DM, like Fernandinho. He can play alongside a DM, or he can play alongside an attacking midfielder. He's got all that capacity. I just want to win the Champions League, Mr. Shanu, YT. Nice to have you on board. It's not about then, it's about now. We are suffering things there. And absolutely, guys. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Help us get that target of 3,000 subscribers before Christmas, guys. Come on. We can do it. I want some youngsters in for Marseille match. Need a rest. Ain't happening, Haj. Playing double pivot against defensive teams is a waste of an attack. Absolutely. I've been saying it again and again and again. You don't need that. You need one solid top player like Fernandinho, like Douglas Luiz, like Ismail Benasser. Andre Edwards, nice to have you on board, Andre. Pep is too headstrong. All of the Premier League clubs are throwing in their academy players, but not Pep. Pep is not smart for me. The key is a strong midfield who can track back. I agree, Abdurrahman. There are lots of games left to judge Liverpool. We won a lot of games without Laporte and still crumbled on many occasions. Liverpool need to show more than what they're solid. Yeah, look, long time ahead, Faris, long time ahead, but they won the game. So we look at where we are now. They won a tough game. We didn't. Even with KDB, there was no one to get on the end of his crosses. So tired of a lack of a striker. Yep. Look at Saka at Arsenal, Mason Greenwood at Man U, Brandon Williams at Man U. People are coming through. You're good enough. You can make it. We never find out whether someone's good enough at City. Brahim Diaz, okay, he wanted to go to Real Madrid, but we never find out if he was good enough. He's now playing at Milan, scored midweek. He's looking all right. I haven't seen enough of him, but he's looking all right. And the noises are good already about Brahim Diaz. Honestly, if he knows he's off after this and truly cares for the club, he would say in advance, we go for Pochettino before United get him. I totally agree, Abdul Khani Mohammed. But you're getting people still coming out and saying Pep's going to sign a new contract. Pep's going to sign a new contract. Pep's going to sign a new contract. They've been saying this since the summer. Since last season, they've been saying Pep's going to sign a new contract. When? Don't leave everybody in the lurch. You know, it's one thing if you've told the players, yes, I'm going to sign a new contract. If you told the board, yes, I'm going to sign a new contract, then get on and do it. Sane all day, absolute copy. No issue there. GRX, Sane all day. Sane, Abdi Khani Mohammed. I don't worry about them. Sane or Mahrez, of course, Sane says Faris. Well, there you go. Mahrez isn't a first-team player. Sane could even get in the first team. Remember this. We were formidables, and at the end of the season, the last 12 or 13 games, Sane probably started 3 or 4, and he didn't even make an impact, and we won every single one. Sane wasn't even getting into the team, and we got Mahrez starting games. Look how we've dropped off. Sane couldn't get into the first team, and Mahrez is starting games. Look at the drop-off. Cobby's not happy with Sterling. I totally agree. Remember what happened to Chelsea in Conte's last season when players were not playing for him? It's the same thing happening. I don't know. I really don't know, Barry. But there's an issue. There is an issue. Why Sterling, our captain, is not a leader? I agree, Mr. Shanu Whitey. You don't like Sterling. His underpants wants to on goal. What's happening? Hi, Harjan. What's happening missing in this City team that has been constant system for 2 years? No Fernandinho. No Fernandinho. No Fernandinho. Okay? As soon as we put Fernandinho to the back four last season, teams were rushing through us. We've not got that same intensity. Remember, players are getting older. Aguero's 32. He's not willing to bust a gut. Mahrez is 29, 30. He's not willing to bust a gut out the way we used to. Okay? So we need some younger players, young blood. We need some young bloods coming through. Come on, guys. Look, we won't get more than 35 dislikes, Jason. I tell you that. We won't get more than 35 because that's the magic number. That's Andy and his mob. That's as many fake accounts that they've got. Other teams change strategies and tactics when they lose, but you want all to replace players and buy the best ones. No divergent thinking. It's not that. You need to listen. I've been saying for ages we needed this summer. If you're buying players, Ismail Benasser, he's your man. Pep's tactics has changed. Divergent thinking. He's changed from having a defensively minded DM who breaks up attacks and protects your defense to more of a. He's not even a playmaker. Rodri's a playmaker. So Pep's changed his tactics. He's changed his tactics to having this guy who's like a metronome. Get the ball, pass the ball. Get the ball, pass the ball. He's not doing it. He's not a massively creative player, Rodri. So Pep's changed the tactics there. Our fullbacks aren't inverting as much. Okay. Remember when we had fullbacks that used to invert, used to come inside a lot. Okay. And that would take defenders or midfielders with them, and it gives space for our wide men like Sane, like Sterling and others to be in one-on-one situations. And now we're once again using the fullbacks out wide with the wingers. So we're having two guys out wide. Bring one inside. Drag the players in. Drag the players inside. Go and have a look at. I can't remember who's put some stuff on Twitter, but there's a really good some diagrams, some graphs to show why Pep's strategies have changed. Ikram, tuning for the car. Won't be tapping. No worries, man. Thanks for joining us, Ikram. There you go. There you go, Jason. 37 likes. As I said, won't get more than 35 dislikes. Has Sterling reached his ceiling? I think he will never be clinical. Well, he should be clinical now. He should be clinical now. Look at how many goals he's missed recently. Big time goals, pressure goals, goals. He had 2 chances to win the game. To win the game against West Ham, blew them. Chance to draw the game against Lyon, blew it. And I can't remember all the other one. The Chelsea one, he had a chance to square it, I think, to Mahrez or Gabby J. He took a shot, didn't score, blew it. Costing us points, costing us a chance in the Champions League. You got to take, and they were not difficult chances, wrong decisions. Divergent thinking, as I said, you don't listen to this channel. Here's the problem. You come on once in a blue moon and you think you know what we've been talking about. All last season, I criticised Raheem Sterling. All last season. Especially September, October, November, December, January, February, March. I criticised Raheem Sterling for more than 6 months. Even though he's banged in 20 goals, he's got 1 assist. I criticised him for more than 6 months. And I criticised Mahrez because he's not doing enough. Sterling's numbers have dropped off. 29 in our Centurion season, goals and assists. I think it was 27 in our formidable season. Last season, 21. His numbers have dropped. His assists have fallen off a cliff. 1 assist in the league last season. Previous 2 seasons, around 10 and 11. That's a decent number, especially when you're scoring as many goals as he does. Mahrez, 10, 11 goals, 10, 11 assists. It's not enough. You need to be in the high 20s to be a City player. If you're going to be a contributor, you need to be in the high 20s. If we're scoring 102 goals last season, Mahrez needs to be contributing a heck of a lot more than 20, 21 goals and assists. A heck of a lot more. He should be around the 30 range. So I criticised Sterling last season. I criticised Mahrez for not doing enough. Omar Abdurrahman, Mahrez is weak. You guys need to get that, not his pattern of play in City. One main issue, says Mr. Shanu YT, why we're not winning is we don't have a leader after Company and Silva. No one has stepped up. Even Silva is not a leader. But, after Company, it's been a problem. There's a few issues, and that's one of them. Diaz and Ferner are leaders, Mr. Shanu. Yep, I think that's... Diaz is a strong character. It feels like that at the moment. It feels like we are coming up to the end of a cycle with Pep. Just how things progress. Management have to make the call for the best interest of the club. Absolutely, Mark. Harjan Singh, what's actually missing in the City team? I've just said that. I've just talked about that. Alexander Swartz, all the story with dislikes. I'm not going to go through that. Very briefly, I set up Man City Fan TV with Andy Turner. I set up Man City Fan TV. But ever since we set it up, I talked about this. You can go and watch the video, The Truth About Man City Fan TV. He was an outrageous bully. Outrageous bully. He always criticised the works of others. He always talked up what he did. Even when he did crap, he talked it up. And he kept doing things that you wouldn't find acceptable. He stole a video from a Man United channel and put it on our channel, got us a copyright strike. 3 strikes and you're out. He got us a copyright strike from just stealing a video from a Man United channel. What's that about? And there were lots of instances where he complained that I promised a lot and I didn't deliver. He promised so much and he couldn't deliver. Yeah, he couldn't deliver. He's full of BS, using my tickets to go to games. He didn't go to games. He doesn't go to games. He didn't go to games. All this big talk about being a massive Man City fan, but he wasn't going to games. He'd go to the Cup final. Hey. What do you call a person who goes to the League Cup final but doesn't go to games throughout the season? What do you call them? Glory hunter. Now, he might have been going to City 20 years ago, 30 years ago when he was a young kid. Glory hunters going to the Carabao Cup final, but not any other games in the season. And when we did that channel together, he went to 3 away games in the whole season. And he's criticising Stephen for not going to games. And he is not a match-going fan. Certainly in recent times, not a match-going fan for whatever reason, okay? But criticising somebody else and you don't do it yourself. You're relying on me going to the away games, tons of away games, and obviously home games. I've got season card. So you're using my kids' season cards, okay, to go to games. Would be nice if you paid for them, yeah? Too many freebies, Andy. He's a big guy who talks big about money Yeah. But when it comes to actually shelling out, can't do it. He complained the summer that we started the channel that he couldn't get he needed a new laptop. His laptop was not working. And it was me looking at buying him a second-hand laptop, buying him a second-hand Mac to help him out. But this is the guy who boasts about how much his son's watch costs. Yeah? How much his son's watch costs. That's the kind of thing. Yeah? Two-faced hypocritical liar and a cheat. And then the final straw was when there's a guy on Twitter called Rabin who was outing a lot of journalists. He was showing their hypocrisy, and we wanted him a lot of people wanted him on the podcast or on the channel. And Andy was having a chat with him, okay, a WhatsApp chat, and Andy recorded it, or a Skype chat. Andy recorded it without his knowledge or his permission. What's all that about? And then he got into a big row with him. He got into rows with loads of people. Simon Bajowski. There's about 6 or 7. Besides, forget Stevens. Yeah, he had a big row with Simon Bajowski. Andy wouldn't accept he was wrong. He had a big row with Sam Lee. Andy kind of said, "You know where I am." Sam Lee kind of took that as if, you want to fight. So he fell out with a lot of people, So, but the Rabin one was the final straw. And I just walked away. So that's what the dislikes are for, because he's such a small man. SDM, okay? And that's what the dislikes are for from him or from his friends or people on that channel. The funny thing is, when he does a live stream and I do a live stream around a game time, we don't get dislikes. Have you noticed that? I've told you that. We noticed that. We tracked it. We don't get dislikes when they've got a live stream going on their channel. Anyway, if he was going to do by now, he should have signed a contract by now. Sorry, and I agree. Adam Mahmood, did you watch the Khabib? No, I saw just a little bit. I missed it, actually. I wanted to watch it, but I can't remember what I was busy. I got too much going on, guys. So, and it was actually, I thought the fight would be later than it was, so it never happened for me. But he retired at 29-0. Can't knock that. Personally, I think Pep had a problem with Sane because he wouldn't track back to defend. Not a team player, but offered moments of brilliance. We are missing that. Absolutely, Jerex. And that's what this team is relying on now. Moments of brilliance. Sane always praises Pep. I don't think there was a problem. Oh, Pep wouldn't play him. Excuse me, at the end. Pep buys players, Klopp makes players. That's the difference. Well, Pep's not making these players, let's be honest. It's not just about Fernandinho. But Faris, come on, you know me. You've watched a lot of my videos. I talk about our lack of intensity, our lack of press. It's not the same as players get older, as David Silva moved into his mid-30s, as Aguero goes into his 30s. Mahrez is not the type to press anyway. So I talked about that. I talked about each season. Teams have more passes. Yeah, they have more possession. Each season, they have more completed passes. What that means is they're getting better quality possession. Yeah. When you've got better quality possession, when you've got more time on the ball, you can make better use of it. And that's what teams are doing. They're making better use of their possession now. If you read the body language, you will know there was a problem. Adam, well done on the uploads. I randomly joined this channel to annoy you and Man City fans and can count on you to be live streaming consistently. Oh, yeah, Adam, look. When I'm in the UK, I'm consistently trying to do a 9 p.m. live stream. When I'm in France, it's a bit late to do a 9 p.m. live stream all the time. And sometimes it's hit and miss when I can do them. You've got to have the time to do it. But I'm still pumping out. I mean, today you've got 2 videos from me. Yesterday you had 3. The day before you had 4. It just depends how busy we are. Tomorrow I'm recording the Marseille preview with a Marseille fan. In France. I'm not in France. He's in France. Tomorrow evening. So you'll get that video. That'll be on tomorrow. And I'll record that before I do the live stream with you guys. So you'll get a video tomorrow. The day after, you'll get a few videos. I will, 95% chance, I'll do a watch-along for the Marseille game and for Sheffield United. Okay? 95% chance I will do it. I just got to sort a few things out. It's not something I normally do, but someone's asked me to do them as a special favor, and I will do my best to do a Marseille watch along and a Sheffield United watch along. It actually works well for me because I'll watch them on BT on my telly, so I won't have the same delay as when I'm watching. You know, in my I watch it in my studio basically normally. So I have my computer, I got all my setup, but I will try and do the watch alongs because watching it in my living room, it's not the same as having a desk and everything. A big desk. I've got a massive desk. I've got all papers on one side. I've got my microphone here. I've got a massive desk for everything. Got the green screen behind me. Watching it in your living room, you haven't got the green screen. You haven't got this space, you know, and you've got a family who want to watch a bit of the telly. So, but I will try. I'll play on the games. So I want to sort that out. Why isn't Foden the first time on the team sheet? Nobody seems completely fit yet. I can't argue with that, Vivek. You know, he should be playing a lot more. Guys, anybody new to this channel, please give us a subscribe. It will help us to get to our target, Christmas target of 3,000 subscribers, and hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. It's cost you now. We don't make money on this channel. We're not doing it for money. Yeah, absolutely not. We would like to make money, but we don't make money. Okay, we don't push for it. I keep saying, look, you guys know me. I was saying for 6 months that I will monetize the channel, and I never did. So eventually I did it. I will eventually use the premium thing, but I'm not busting a gut for it. If we don't get past semi-finals of the Champions League, I think Pep needs to go. We bought him for one reason, that's to win the Champions League. I think it was more than that, Mr. Shannon Whitey. We bought him to instill his philosophy, yeah? Instill a new DNA into the club. And yes, while you say it worked for 2 years, it's not working now, and maybe it'll never work again. But the DNA is there. You know, so that way we play, and it's going all the way through the women's team and the youth teams. We only need only one defensive midfielder and two in attack, and we'll see a difference in tempo. Absolutely, it's what I've been saying. When we had Fernandinho there, when we had Fernandinho in the Centurions and the formidable seasons, who else did we play in midfield? Normally, it was David Silva and KDB, and even when KDB wasn't fit, we would play David Silva, maybe Bernardo Silva, Gundogan. When Fernandinho wasn't fit, we put Gundogan in there, and we could put two attacking midfielders in front of him. One of them with David Silva, might be Bernardo Silva, for example, or Mahrez occasionally, or whatever we did. Okay. Now we've got Rodri, and people are saying, "Well, we need someone to be a defensive midfielder to help Rodri." Then what the hell's Rodri doing? If all Rodri's doing is getting the ball and passing it, Ismail Benassi can do that. Douglas Luiz can do that. Lots of other people can do that. And they can defend. Faris, if Sterling took his chance yesterday, we wouldn't be criticising anyone and would be much... Oh, yeah, we'd be happier. But Faris, come on, you know me. I'd still be critical of certain aspects. I'd still be critical. Look, we could have won 5-1 yesterday. Yeah? Sterling's 2 chances. Diaz's chance in the first half. Mahrez didn't control it when he could have crossed to Sterling. Cancelo didn't control it when he could have crossed to Sterling. That makes 5 other, I think, big chances. Big chances. We could have won 5-1. We'd be laughing about it. But because we weren't clinical, then we start criticising other areas. And it's just things that have been bubbling under the surface. That's why Garcia gets it in the neck. That's why Mahrez is getting it in the neck. And Pepe's getting it a bit. Oh, Vivek, I agree. Not having a proper preseason has been a huge problem. We didn't get a rest in the summer. We didn't get a preseason. But as Pep keeps saying, it is what it is. So we can't keep using that as an excuse. And as I said earlier, if you're complaining about all that and saying KDB hasn't had a rest in the summer, he hasn't had a preseason, he's got a new baby, it's too tough, then why are you playing him? And he's having to play so many games. Why are you playing him in the Carabao Cup against Burnley? Why didn't you give him a rest that week? Why? So Pep's complaining about the workload and the lack of break, and then he's increasing that workload. Why do you play Sergio Aguero 3 times in a week when he's been off for 4 months? Why? Why on earth do you do that? You keep hearing stories of players been out for a long time. They come back, and then they get a totally different injury because their body's not been at it. So you know that's an issue with Aguero, but yet you still chuck him out 3 times in 6 or 7 days. It ain't going to work. And then you've got Phil Foden and Ferran Torres. Now, you might say they're not as good as Mahrez or as good as Aguero or whatever. That's a totally different argument. But these kids are young, 20 years old, fit. They've had their preseason. They're raring to go. Okay? Give them a chance. Stones, you know, you saw him doing the shuttle drills or sprints, after the game, and he didn't even play. You cannot go around complaining that of the number of games players getting injured if you're overplaying them. You have to manipulate your squad. You have to change things around to make it work. You can't, I repeat, you can't keep you playing KDB into the ground and then say he got injured because you played him into the ground in the Carabao Cup. You can't play Sergio Aguero after 4 months out, 3 games in 6 or 7 days, and then complain that he's injured. You cannot do it. Baldi's getting it wrong. Pepe's way too comfortable, in my opinion. If you could sign one player in January, which is linked, who would it be? I'd buy. Well, it depends on Aguero and Gabriel Jesus' fitness. I'd buy Messi. I'd buy Messi all day long. After Messi, I'd go for Ismail Bennacer. I think he'll make a big difference. Mahrez doesn't seem the same player as he was at Leicester. He doesn't know what passing is. Absolutely, Vivek. He could get away with it at Leicester. He can't get away with it here. Why is Sterling wearing the captain's band? The guy just goal hangs. I don't mind goal hanging. He got 20 goals goal hanging, but we need more. Because KD was playing, well, that's why. I don't know what that means, Faris, to be honest. I'm 10 minutes behind. Hi, Scotty. Mahrez is looking more and more a case of a big fish. Said that last season. Mahrez never runs. He just jogs and he doesn't care, says Haj. I agree. Do you think City will perform better under fans when COVID restrictions get lifted? I hope so, Harjan. But you don't know. Honestly, don't know. Hi, Scotty. Good evening. Faris is through anyone come to mind that is in the market. Casemiro. So far behind. Casemiro, Kansi, Fabinho, possibly Verratti and Marquinhos. Solo, unreally, this channel's always been in front of the camera. It's always been me. It's always been solo me. I have people that help. Cole does the IT. He's done a lot of work on the tech side, you know, the logos and helping me. And last season, he was doing a lot of the history videos. We were doing the action history videos Cole would do. And then other things like when we talked about the banana craze, we talked about Manchester's third club and other bits and pieces. There were history pieces, but maybe with less graphics. But I did the narration, but Colin wrote them. So, yeah, he does a lot. But in front of the camera, it's me. Sometimes we'll get other people onto live streams. Scotty comes on. He's done a few videos for us and a few other people. But we'll work with some journalists and football analysts and scouts and stuff to produce videos. But it's mostly about you guys who are not coming on anymore. Yeah, Faris, look, it just happens from time to time. I would like us to start getting real gem players that are relatively cheap. Not going to happen. Faris, what about Awar? Everybody here is blaming Mahrez even for COVID-19. No one's blaming Mahrez for COVID-19, divergent thinking. People are blaming Mahrez for being Mahrez. People are blaming Mahrez for not running hard enough. People are blaming Mahrez for being greedy. But I said the same last season. It's not something that's a knee-jerk, on the hoof whim reaction because we're not winning games. It's something I've been saying last season. Criticising Sterling, it's something I said last season. Gundogan's 30 years old, so we will get replacements in midfield. And the way we're going, I think we'll get 2 next summer if we can. I think Pep's time is up. He's overstayed his time, says Andre Edward. That the team looks stale. Yeah, Awar is a no. As far as average of our team is getting on, we need the youth. I don't think average of our team is too old, but KDB's what, 28, 29. Mahrez is 29. Aguero's 32. Fernandinho's 35. All right, he doesn't play that often now. Walker's 29. But then on the other hand, you've got Stones 26, Diaz 23, Garcia 20, Edison's about 26, Laporte's 26, Cancelo's what, 26 as well, I think, off the top of my head. Obviously, Zinchenko's about 23. Sterling's 25, I think, 25, 26. Ferran Torres is 20. Gabby J is what, 23, 24. Bernardo Silva's mid-20s. So we have got a mix as well. Mendy's 26, 27. Every team is struggling, Blue and every team. I mean, look, how many points did Liverpool drop? 5, sorry. Fernand Gundogan nearly up. Yeah, exactly, Blue Jan. That's why I'm not panicking. It's happening to everybody, not just us. Everyone is dropping points and will drop more. It's true, Faris. Everybody's dropping points. That's what frustrates me more because we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be, Faris. If you go back to that formidable season, look at who we bought since then. Mahrez, not first-team player. Okay, that was the first summer. Next summer, we got Cancelo. For me, not first-team player. Last season, we bought Rodri, not first-team player. Angelino, not first-team player. This summer, Ake, not first-team player. Ferran Torres, not first-team player. Not automatic first-team players. We got Ruben Diaz, who's the only first-team player out of 7 signings. Not good enough. You need 1 or 2 first-teamers every single season to mix it up, to push others out, and to take the team forward. I think we need better coaches for our youth. Surely with all that investment, we should be getting some real quality from the youth, not just for them. There's still a long way to go, says Faris. Pep was brought here to develop our young. He wasn't. You wouldn't get it. I don't think so. I absolutely don't think he was brought here to get a different philosophy, a different DNA, to win the Premier League and to win the Champions League in style. City have been struggling for over a year. Who says you wouldn't get it? I totally agree. But Rodri cost 62 million. That's why it's hard to get rid of. Is the man cost 20 or 30? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally agree. I think that was Abdikani. Alexandros, I'm sorry to hear that. It's pity to someone believe like this, where the same team. They're not the same, okay? They're not the same. Let's move on. You know about Aguero's injury rate, but surely Pep asked the medical staff if he's ready. If he wasn't ready, but Faris, it's a well-known, I wouldn't say it's a fact, but it's well-known that players get a different injury, even when the stats look good. But you've just got to just use your common sense. That's how I look at it. Aguero's been out for 4 months. 4.5 months, whatever. Let's say he's been out for 4 months and you're playing him 3 games in 6 or 7 days. It's asking for trouble. It really is. Even if it's only an hour at a time, you're asking for trouble. Kyle Walker having a great season so far. He says Vivek Jerick he needs a rest. Concerned that we will run Walker into the ground. I agree as well. Faris, we didn't have much opinions in that Burnley game. Gundu wasn't fit. We had to play Ferner at centre-back as well. And we played Planet. I don't understand that. I think we were already struggling. Oh, yeah, we were struggling, Faris. We were struggling, but we didn't need to play KDB. I don't think we needed to play KDB in midfield. I don't care. Play Tommy Doyle. Play a kid. That's what we're all asking for. But Pep wants to win. He was so determined to win that he helped KDB to get injured. Omar Abdurrahman says, I noticed the fullbacks need to be fit and slim to cover more ground. DM need to be strong but still lightweight. Rodri's not that. Rodri's not. I don't know what Rodri's doing there. No stealing midfield, says Vivek. I still say, Faris, I don't think Pep was forced to play KDB. You could play... Bernardo wasn't fit. I still think we could have not played KDB in that game. I still believe that. Hi, Nigel. Oh, don't worry about it, Nigel. My battle with Andy, there's no battle. There's no battle. For a battle, you need an opponent. For an intellectual battle, you need an intellectual opponent. Okay? You don't need a liar, a thief, and a cheat. This club is in GFC, absolutely. Cobby, the most worrying thing for me is that we lose the exact same way to all the teams who managed to beat us. It's as though Pep learns nothing from how his team loses games. Absolutely, Cobby. Same. The only team that does it a bit different is Liverpool. The only team that does it a bit different to us because they're good enough to take it to us and pump us by taking it to us. Other teams do it by letting us. At the moment this season, other teams are doing it. Generally, West Ham didn't do it, but other teams are doing it by letting us tire ourselves out. It's rope-a-dope. We start off like a house on fire, and then we get ahead, and then they come back. Happened against Leicester like that. Wolves, we were struggling. We got lucky at the end. Leeds, we looked knackered. Angel has 5 goals in 8 games in La Liga. He's a defensive midfielder. Why not give him a chance? Pep, that's why. Absolutely. Faris, trying to work out what you meant by Palmer. By Planet. JRX, do players get over-drilled, then injured in practice? Could well be. You carried out a couple of seasons ago because of injury, picked up in training, over-drilled, then they don't know what to do in trouble. I missed that one. I blame China. Nah, forget that, Jason. I'm not going there, okay? I'm not going there. What I will say is it originated in China, but it's up to the rest of the world to protect their citizens. Don't blame somebody else. It's like the government blaming parents for not being able to feed their kids. So you're going to let kids go hungry because either the parents can't afford to feed them, the parents might be deadbeat, but you're going to make the kids starve because of the parents. Good one. Good one. Yangel, Douglas Luiz, these are quality players we should have given a chance. Nightbot says, help us push on to 3,000 subscribers. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. Tell your friends and family. Get them involved. Thanks for your amazing support. As I said before, without your support, I wouldn't be here. 1 hour, 5 minutes, guys. It's been buzzing. Have I stopped for a pause? I've not. Look, my coffee is cold. I've not even drunk half the cup. The Wuhan clan is to blame, says Blue Chan. It's a good one, man. Absolutely, man. Will it happen? No way. Later, guys. Late today, Dre. You're late. We've been on for an hour, man. We need to play some youngsters. Absolutely. Barry McGowan, nice watch strap. Honestly, I don't know. I bought it in Camden. I have no idea what the make is. It's cheapo. It cost me about 50 or 60 quid in Camden. It's from a leather shop, actually. The guy does like belts and watch straps. That's what he does. Obviously handmade, made to order, made to measure, whatever. And this part is the cheap part. It's this part. It's the strap. That's the expensive. I like a little bit of leather. I've got a few steampunk type articles, bit of leather. But let's not get into that on this channel, guys. It's not Rado's adult adult leather bondage stuff. Those days are gone, guys. Those days are gone. When I had the body, to wear as tight a clothing as you could imagine. I had the body in those days, guys. Look at it. It's just fat now. It's just fat. It'll come back slowly. I want to see Foden and Torres start, says Jerix. Give Delap some minutes. Delap can't play on Tuesday. He's not in the squad. He's not been here long enough to get in the B list, and we didn't include him in the A list. So Delap is not going to be in Europe. When do you think Aguero might be back, Ray? No idea, Faris. Honestly, no idea. That's no idea. I don't know what his injury is. Hopefully Pep will tell us tomorrow. Jason, do you want Potts? I don't want him. Would I be adverse to the idea? There's a lot of worse managers out there. We'll see. Might do the business. Great youngsters bring energy. Wanted to will be able to do the job when surrounded by quality. I agree. It's not a fossil watch, Blue Chand. It's certainly not a fossil watch. As I said, it's the strap. It's all the leather. That's the important stuff. And that's just a cheapo thing that goes in the middle. But I like it. I tell you what, though, it's hard to put on your own with the two buckles. What will you line up, Ashby? No idea. We might talk about that tomorrow night. We'll talk about the lineup tomorrow, the day before the game. And especially after I talk to the guy from Marseille. No Mahrez for me, that's most important, says Faris. Yeah, I totally agree. As I said, it doesn't need to go. Mahrez could do with the rest. Faris wants Foden to start. I agree. Do you think Greenwood and Mount starting out are much better than our youngsters who are hesitant to play? I doubt it. Look, Foden never got much game time when Mount was coming through, and Foden was obviously at the World Cup with them, under 17s World Cup. We don't know how good our players are. That's the issue for us, guys. We don't know how good our youngsters are until they leave us. That's the truth, because we don't see them play. Until they leave, we don't know. Pep's not playing them. We don't know if they're good enough in training. We just don't know that. If that was Garcia with our manager, maybe he'd make the cut. Abdi Khan, yeah, you might be right there. Definitely Mahrez or Garcia, says JRX. Blue Chand. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, if you look at your background, man, your leather jackets. When we were kids, always getting leather jackets from the homeland, weren't you? Well, I've got lots of leather jackets. I've got quite a few leather jackets. When I was in the 90s, when I was working down in London, I don't know where this is now. I had this trench coat, leather trench coat. It was stunning. Full length. It basically went down to my feet, to my ankles, this leather trench coat. And at the inside, it had a fleece, a detachable fleece. So in the winter, it was roasting. And it was a stunning full-length black leather trench coat. It's one of my favorite articles. I don't know if I left it somewhere or I lost it somewhere on a night out. I can't remember where I lost that. Man, I missed that. I love that. If Dilat was Spanish, you better believe he'd play. I wouldn't disagree with it. Etihad Hospital, I don't know what that's our team now. Would you have a problem if Garcia plays, but he would put the job in? Faris, this is the thing. If in the video I did today, I said if City are hoping to turn his head, okay, I would accept that. Not comfortable, but I'd accept it. Wait till we get to January. If he doesn't sign a new contract and he doesn't leave in January, do not play him ever again, because you're not going to turn his head. You're not going to. He said apparently to his friends that you can't turn his head. Frustrates me, because where did this story come out? It come out in the Sun. So have the Sun been talking to his friends, or has Garcia been telling his friends to talk to the Sun, or has he been talking to journalists and they just use the friends so it's not a direct quote? I don't know. Mahrez, the Mahrez thing, we say it was fake, fair enough. What's he doing talking to Canal Plus? Why don't come on our channel? These footballers, okay, they go on the big channels. Why does he go on Canal Plus? Does he need to? He goes on there for visibility. He's going on there for visibility. They go on RMC Radio. Why? Or the big radio stations, or the websites or whatever, for visibility. It's the same with City. Okay, it's the same with City. Mahrez did something for DZ4. He was their player of the season or something. Okay, last season he got an award. They managed to get that award to him. They got some pictures. Okay, but DZ4 have got 100,000 or whatever, a few 100,000 on YouTube, or 100,000 on Twitter. So they've got some clout. They've got some clout. If I wanted to do that, no chance. No one's interested. If you're small fry, generally they're not interested, because you're no value to them. You're not going to help them to earn anything, and that's what life is about. Too often these days, life is about money. That's all people are interested in. So Mahrez, if they go on these big channels and then say, "Oh, I was misquoted." I responded to one of his tweets and said, "Come on our channel. You can talk in French, you can talk in English. We won't misquote you. We'll tell the truth. We've got no reason to be sensationalist and make something up and twist something so it's, all dramatic." And I can even, if he wants it, I'll do it in Arabic. If Mahrez can speak Arabic, I'll do it in Arabic for you, fella. Do it in French. Do it in English. If you want to do it in Spanish, I'll get my kids on. They'll do it in Spanish with you. Whatever language you want, Riyad, we'd do it. Whatever language you can speak, we'll be there. And not just Arabic. Wouldn't just speak Arabic with you, Riyad. We'd speak your Maghreb, that North African Arabic. If he wanted to, I'd do it. I'd put the effort in. I might not be able to do it very well, but I'd put the effort in to do it so that he wouldn't be misquoted. But he'll not come on a channel like this. He wants to go with the big ones because, hey, you go on the big channels, you get your profile up, you get your numbers up, you make a bit more, your profile's money. Hi, Chris. Mahrez said he was misquoted. He was on Canal Plus French channel, and he talked about Real Madrid. PSG. He said, basically, the quote was, "I'm a Paris boy, and I'd like to come back and play, blah, blah, blah." Okay, that's what they said. He said, "I've been misquoted." Okay? He said, "That's fake news. I've been misquoted." He said, "Why do these channels, or why do these people always, twist it to make it dramatic?" That's because they need you to make money. And that's what it's about, Riyad. It's a clickbait. It's about hits and clicks and likes. Okay? But don't go on these channels and have all this thing blown up and then complain about these channels and then go on them again. I've said, if you want, Riyad, come on this channel. I'll talk to you in English. I'll talk to you in French if you want. I'll talk to you in Maghreb Arabic if you want. Yeah? Whatever language you want, I'll do it. You want to talk German? I'll talk German with you, Mahrez. Guten Tag. I'll talk whatever language you want. You want to talk Dutch? I'll do it. Whatever language you want, Riyad. Whatever language you can cope with, I'll talk to you in that language. I'll ask you the questions in that language. Okay? I'll put the effort in. I put the effort in. When I went to work in Germany last year and a couple of years ago, learned German. Learned German just for 2 weeks. 2 weeks work. Bang. People, okay, they knew we weren't German, but they so much appreciated the effort we'd taken to learn the German. Yeah, we made mistakes, but we put the effort in and people understood us really, really well. Okay? It's worth doing. So when I've done interviews with some Algerian fans, I've done it in Arabic, not just Arabic, but what the guys would speak in Algeria. You do, and it was for the Algerian market. So you do that. Why? Because it's a good thing to do. So Riyad Mahrez, if you're worried about being misquoted, come on. Any language you like, Riyad, we'll take you on. So that's Riyad Mahrez's issue. Falling behind again. Every time I go for a bit of a rant, I fall behind. UFC fighters are less likely to get injured than our players. Absolutely, Blue Chand. Mahrez's position should be changed. He can play midfield, attacking midfield, but not up front. Of all the injuries with our team, Laporte is the most crucial. I don't agree, Abdikani Mohammed. Why? Laporte's not as crucial as sometimes we believe. That's what I think. Put Sterling on the right. Maybe it would make his finishing better because his one-on-one would be easier on his right. Come on, you got to practice both feet. So you wouldn't mind playing against Marseille? Faris, I wouldn't. What? No, I wouldn't. Nah. If I had a choice, Ruben Dias and Stones. That's my choice for Marseille. I'm assuming Laporte, because he was... Laporte might be back. No, Laporte wasn't on the bench. Aki wasn't on the bench. I'll ask him. I don't think they'll be back to start. I might be wrong, but I don't think they'll be back to start. So if they're not ready, Stones. Now, they might be ready because they might have been nearly ready on Saturday. They might have been nearly ready, but then they weren't even risked on the bench. But give them an extra couple of days, they're ready. It's like a player fails a fitness test one day, but would have passed it the next day. So maybe they're almost there. Kenny Rees took your long leather jacket for Matrix. I tell you what, I had that jacket in the 90s, mid-90s. Oh, it was awesome. Now I think about it, I miss it. I have lost clothes. I had in my... And I don't know if I took them to a dry cleaners. I had this Oswald Boateng suit, this blue, shiny, really was shiny blue Oswald Boateng suit. And I remember putting it in a bin bag at my mum's, at my parents. I might have taken it down to a dry cleaners and forgot about it. Sorry, guys. I'll be honest, okay? I've got that many clothes. I've got that many. My wife's complaining. She said, give your stuff to your kids. She said, I'm going to start selling your trainers and shoes because you don't wear them. So we will actually be starting selling some of my stuff, some of the stuff that I've either never worn or hardly ever worn. I've got these Porsche design trainers. I think I wore them once or twice. So I think they're going to be flogged. A lot of Dr. Martin stuff, new. A lot of clothes as well. She just said, I've had enough. Plus, I mean, I've got, to be honest, I've got a room full of clothes. That's it. It's a huge room, okay? And it's full of clothes. That's it. Rails and wardrobes and more. I've got about 6 or 7 rails full of clothes. I've got a rail full of shirts. Nothing else but shirts. Nothing else but shirts. I've got suitcases full of clothes. I've saved a load of stuff since the 90s, guys. I'm low to throw stuff away. So, I end up flogging a lot of stuff. Turn his head for what? The boy's not Maldini. Turn his head all the way like an owl. We don't want him hit him already. Make up our minds up. I would try stealing on the right, Torres on the forward and on the left. Oh, I'm already behind again. Try and catch up. Khabib fought with a broken toes last night, and our guys get injured late in their boots. Taylor Howdy, Leicester City fan, and will give you everything for the badge and wants to be here, deserves to start every game over Garcia. It's a slap in the face. Absolutely. It's a slap in the face of Stones. You know, who's an England international. Mahrez doesn't speak Arabic. He probably speaks a little bit Faris, a few words. But I'll take him on. I'll take him on in Arabic. I'll take him on in French. Take him on in English. No big deal. Hey, Le Homa. Ooh, Le Homa. No, sorry, that's Cantonese. Le Homa is in Cantonese. Nihama is in Mandarin. Nihama is in Mandarin. Le Homa is in Cantonese. Don't take me on, guys. Don't take me on. I used to speak a little bit of Cantonese. I had a lot of friends at when I was over in Leeds, at uni there. A lot of friends who were from either Hong Kong or China but spoke Cantonese. So learn a few words. I used to know between 100 and 200 words in Cantonese, but that was going back into the early 90s, a long time ago. And if you don't use it, you lose it. I remember a little bit, like Le Homa. I'm trying to remember now. Dam Sam Kwai. I think that Dam Sam Kwai is a greedy ghost. Someone who eats a lot. And then a few other things. Honest, guys, I'll take on any language. Start worrying that Pep doesn't inspire the players like he used to. I agree, Alexandros. First, I agree. I prefer Stones and Diaz or Ake and Diaz if he doesn't play on the left. But I wouldn't complain about Garcia if he does the job well. And, you know, yeah, if he does it, if he plays, I'll support him. I'm not going to diss him if he plays, but I don't want him to play. Pep's current state is not inspiring. He looked like couldn't be bothered with a shave against. Well, guys, no, Pep's done that many times where he hasn't bothered to shave. Okay, I'm the same. You know, I need a shave. Actually, since I'm just chit chatting as well, I bought this new shaver, head shaver. I used to have this Pitbull skull shaver Pitbull, and that's really good. But it broke. It stopped working. So I bought this wall shaver, and it cost me about 90 quid, and it's rubbish. I can't shave anything on my head with that. I have to send it back. And I've actually ordered a new Pitbull because the build quality is supposed to be much better. Or skull shaver, they called. Who remembers Pep telling his players to play with courage in the Amazon show? Now the players are telling him absolutely. JRX, I think Garcia in the lineup is disruptive to morale and locker room, even if he does the job. Too funny, man. Guys, I know that you must be frustrated that I defend Pep a lot, and I admit that he's not the same, but I'd give the guy the break. Give him the chance, because he's gone through a lot. I totally agree, Faris, but there's a limit. There's a limit. Eventually, there comes a time. Eventually. You're doing Movember. Nah, I can't be doing that, buddy. Honestly, if I don't shave for a month, nah. I did it once. I grew a beard for 6 weeks, and it looked like I've been growing it for about 3 months. It looked like I've been growing it for 3 months. My hair grows very quick. Michelle, nice to have you on, Michelle. Will Man City buy anybody in January? I very much doubt it, Michelle. City do not buy players in January. Since Pep's been here, we've only bought one player ever, and that's been Emerick Laporte. And we bought him because apparently we believed he had the right attitude and he could hit the ground running. Okay? He could hit the ground running. That's why we bought him. Now, so we won't buy anybody else because it's really difficult. It's really difficult. Okay? It's really difficult. Oh, are you really gonna put me on the spot here? So, okay. In Mandarin, what's Pep out? Okay, the best I can do for you is Gu Chu. Something like that. That's if my Pep translated properly. Okay. In Mandarin, what's Pep out? Okay, the best I can do is listening to myself talking there, guys. It's Gu Chu, something like that. My kids can speak Mandarin a little bit. A little bit, but not so much. Let's see if I can get a translation for you, Blue Chand. Oh, it's looks like my thing's slowed down to a crawl. Give me a sec. 37 down 6, man. What's going on? Yeah, let's go for that Guchu then, guys. Again, I'll get a pronunciation. Guju. And that's if Pep is translated to who. It probably isn't. It's probably Pep Chu or Chu Pep, because I think they spin it around. If I remember correctly, they invert. So we will say Pep out. They would say out Pep. I think that's how it works. No one questioning Pep's brilliance, but some of his managerial decisions is questionable. Look, absolutely, Abdika Ghani. That's why I said last season, when you make these maverick decisions, when they work, you're a genius. And when they don't work, you're a fool. And the line between genius and fool is very, very thin sometimes. Look, Gabriel Jesus scores the goal against Lyon. We win 2-1. He's a genius. That's it. So that's the small margins. Pep's message may be getting stale. That intensity will be tiresome over years. Absolutely. That's why, JRX. That's why I also say we need. That's not Japanese. That's not Japanese, man. You cheeky so-and-so. That is in Mandarin. The chu is definitely Mandarin. The chu is definitely Mandarin. You cheeky so. Okay, because in Japanese it's deru. 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 And actually, I did used to speak a little bit of Japanese because my niece spent a year in Japan, and when she came back, I thought I need to show off. I need to learn a few words, and I show off. So deru. So everyone has questionable decisions. Abdikani, GRX Pets message to be getting stale. That intensity. Yeah. The manager is perfect. Hi, Shazib. Nice to have you on board. What about an Indian? No, I can. I'm not going to go down that route. We'll let somebody else go down that route. Let somebody else go down that route. But we're still creating chances and breaking through teams. That's the thing, Faris. What is not letting the reason? Okay, the reason that it's hurting us last season and this season is because we're not putting enough chances away, and that's what in the games that matter. That's what's doing for us. Faris, all the time will. I would say Pep's tactics are not working is if we do not create at all. Pep's tactics are to create chances, and we still do that. That's why I personally think his tactics work. I think overall they work, but he's not making us solid as we used to be for various reasons. Why hasn't Pep figured out how to break down a low block? The way to do it, JRX, we used to do it, but we used to have players like Leroy Sané on top form. We used to have players like David Silva on top form, okay? And we would use those triangles. We use those triangles time and time again. Sterling, KDB, and the fullbacks. We'd use those triangles, overlaps, underlaps. Yeah. So we did all sorts of things. I used to say we have two triangles, one on each side, and we use those three players, and teams couldn't cope. And our aim was to get behind, get around the back, cross it in, tap in from 6 yards. That's how we used to do it. And saying that you can't defend counter-attacks, which is true, but no manager in the world knows how to do that. Bayern, Liverpool, I agree, but they're better at it than us. City Ladai. In January, City have to sell these two players, Mahrez and Garcia, and sign Koulibaly and Haaland. Ain't happening, Si. Ain't happening. Sorry. Liverpool won't be able to retain their title. Shazib, well, they're in a strong position, let's say. They're in a strong position to retain their title. Right, guys. I think that's going to be my lot for today. It's been about an hour and a half. It's been bonkers, guys. Still 30 people on. It's been totally crazy tonight. We had the naysayers, and Andy's mob have done their best, but the likes have won in the end. 45 likes, 37 dislikes. The likes have won. I wonder how many of those 37 will still be around in 2 or 3 hours' time, guys. I dare say half of them will disappear. Right, I'm going to get ready to knock it on the head. Remember, Conte changing to 3 at the back. Guardiola has to find such a formation to turn this ship around. Absolutely. Because players have dropped off as well, Ray. That's what we are not effective. That's why every time the media praises Pep, he replies with, "It's not me. It's the players that play on the pitch, not me." Oh, cheers, Faris. Thanks a lot. Absolutely. Look, Look, there was a time when Gundogan was breaking yesterday. I remember this towards the end of the game. He was breaking. Okay, we had a counter attack. Was it Sterling ahead of him? He had one player ahead of him, and that's it. He ended up turning around. Suddenly there were 5 West Ham players defending. He ended up passing it backwards. We were in their half. We were breaking on a counter attack, and he ended up passing it backwards. So Blue Channel says Nasjar. No, that's not how I would have said it. Anyway, we've beaten the dislikes. Guys, I've got to shoot, guys. It's, it's 10:30. I could do with a break. Guys, look after yourselves. See you tomorrow. Remember, we'll do a stream around 9 o'clock, looking at the team for Marseille. And I'll have also, by then, I'll have spoken to the guy from Marseille, hopefully. I'm shooting that earlier in the evening, and I'll get at least some idea of what he said. And then, that might affect who we decide to pick. But guys, look after yourselves. Have a good day. Enjoy your Monday, and we'll see you around.